think the best thing you can do for yourself and for other people is to share yourself with them. Share your knowledge, your ideas, because it doesn't matter how much you read, how many books you read every year, how many movies you watch, how many poems you read. If you just stay with all of it in your mind and you don't put it into practice, I don't know, then why do we read? Why do we write? Why do we do the things we do if we're not going to let them go? If you're not going to share them with the world? I am very introverted, and sometimes I'm like a sponge. I just stay with everything and I don't let it out. And that's wrong, because the more you share yourself with other people, the more you give, the more love you receive, the more genuine connections you make with other people. Bonds that may last forever. I have struggled a lot lately, the last few years. I feel that after the pandemic, the world is very different. The world is working very differently. I think there's a lot of chaos. And I used to get very worried. I used to watch the news every morning while I ate breakfast. But then I realized how harmful that was for me, because it was like a bomb. And I just kept it all here. And it was like boiling inside my brain. And there was a point where I got very worried, and I felt a lot of fear for myself and for other people, because I just saw all the horrible things that were going on at the same time. A lot of people are currently suffering at the same time in different parts of the world. And they just show you the worst part of everything and how things are just going wrong, and how we're all damned. There's no way out. There's no hope. There's no faith. And I don't want to attach myself to hope, because the times I have been hopeful, after that, it's just disappointment, because I was just waiting for a very specific positive outcome, and when that didn't come, I just got disappointed, frustrated. So I stopped feeling hopeful. I stopped feeling hopeful, and I started letting everything come as it may, focusing on September, focusing on the only thing I have, which is the present. And then I just remembered, if I'm breathing here, I cannot breathe in the past. I cannot breathe. I don't know if I'm gonna breathe in the near future. Why is my mind in the future or in the past? I tend to be in the future most of the time. I just think about how my life is just going to get worse. That's what I used to think. Sometimes I still think and feel that way, but that's very harmful as well. There's no point in thinking and worrying, because life is very futile, very volatile. You don't know what's going to happen. And even though I'm young, maybe I'm gonna die soon. I don't know. But I shouldn't feel worried about that either, because it's not under my control. Worrying, we think that it's part of a solution because it's like a fuel to act, to do whatever we think is the right thing to do, so that in the future we don't have to worry about that and we're taken care of. But worrying, it is worthless. Worrying just makes us miserable in the present. Acting without worrying, that's the perfect formula to live. I cannot say that I do that, because most of the time I'm just worried about my financial situation, about my health, about my friends, whatever. I just worry, and I'm just putting on a great burden on myself. And I'm doing that voluntarily. No one is making me feel that way. No one is making me think that way. It is my choice. So at the time we become really conscious of our thoughts and our feelings, and we see how harmful they are to us, and we see that those thoughts and those feelings are not us. We just become very attached to them, and that's why we think we are that, because we identify with them, but we are not them. We have the choice to say, I am not that thought. We can just observe it and really analyze it and see, I am not that. And that's when we become free, because that is under our control. We have that power. We have that power to choose, I don't want to feel that way. We have the power to see and choose, I don't want to relate to that thought anymore, because I'm not that. We have everyone in this world has the capability to choose the way they want to think and feel and navigate throughout their life. So another thing I have found to be very powerful and peaceful is to just look at nature, look at the trees, and it doesn't matter where you are, who you are, how much money you have. Everyone has the ability to contemplate nature and just see the greenness, the freshness of the trees, of the grass, and just see that we are related to that at some point. We are one thing with them. Nature gets us closer to our essence, gets us closer to life, God, the universe, whatever you believe in. And when we see that wholeness and that unity gives us peace, we realize that we are also related to other human beings. We're related to everything that exists, not only on Earth, but in the universe. And we see that we are so tiny, we're just a particle of that universe, that whatever we fear, whatever we worry about, it doesn't really matter. And we have the power to choose to worry, to fear. It is our choice to fear and to worry and to be anxious. Anxiety, I think, is just, it is not a feeling per se. I think it's a reaction to fear. We are scared, and that makes us feel all shaken up, all like frenetic, I don't know, like rigid, and it just closes our lenses. It just closes our perspective, and we then act out of fear, not out of peace, out of tranquility, out of love. We act out of fear. I believe the world is changing in a very weird way, and just being afraid of that change gets us closer to a life no one deserves and no one really wants. I think we have the capability to observe the world, not in an attached way, just observe it and then contemplate what is the best way to act, what is the best way to navigate in this ever-changing world. I consider myself an artist. It took a very long time for me to identify as an artist. And I think the life of the artist is very complex because you have to support yourself. A lot of people cannot support themselves off of their art. They have to work at a job they may not like, and at the same time work on their craft, get better at it, sharing it, and expecting, to grow an audience, to have clients, and to live off their art. That's, I think, what most artists want out of this life, out of their art. And for me, it has been a very difficult journey because I am very ambitious, and when I think that I put in everything I got and then getting no results, it's just very hard because I blame myself all the time, even when I know that it's not my fault that things didn't work out. I wanted to work in the film industry, and it has been difficult because even if I network, I try to meet people in the medium. I have had no success at getting what I want. Last year, I realized a lot of things since the strike. I guess the entertainment industry is changing and things are not working out as before. Like in the 90s, if you wanted to be an actor, you just moved to LA or New York and audition and try to get an agent later on and just work and work and work and have another job while your career propels. But I don't think that's the way to have a career right now. I am very grateful that I have the internet because I just can learn anything I want. I can meet people in other places. I can record myself and share whatever I want with other people. So I guess if you look at the technology we have right now and see it as a tool instead of as something you have to be afraid of, like AI, I think it's a better way to adapt and a more intelligent way to have a career because you're not being afraid that you're gonna go out of a job because it's not. I mean, it's real. It is real for a lot of creatives, but being afraid is not going to save anyone. So that's what I learned last year. And ever since, I have been learning a lot about cinematography and editing. And I just want to focus on that. I want to focus on what I can control instead of what it is outside of me. So I think we can use social media as artists and really find power and an audience through that, and see that with the internet there's no middleman. You don't have to depend on other people to meet the right people. You can just share yourself. So I invite anyone who has that curiosity to share whatever they have inside of themselves, that they genuinely have an urge to share, to just do it. Don't expect anything out of it. Don't expect to get a great audience. Don't expect to find an agent, find a job through that. Just do it. Just do it, and do it because you want to. And find peace and freedom in that, and just relax and focus on yourself, focus on your craft, and just pay attention to what you're thinking and feeling and redirect those thoughts. Redirect those thoughts to a place where you can find comfort, power, love, and just give out that love to other people, and just give out that love to your art, to nature, to God, the universe, life, whatever, and just find peace in your heart and really feel that and just be in that and just connect with that. And when you're afraid, when you're anxious, just try to redirect yourself to that peace. Find a way to find that peace again. And when you do, just cherish it, protect it, love it, and very important, share it with other people.